So hi, I'm Mark, this is Mark's Tech Vlogs on YouTube, and today I'm going to bring you a review of the Comica BoomX D2 wireless microphones. For anyone creating content that requires audio, whether that's a podcast, vlogs, interviews, reviews or whatever, sound is a really important thing. You want your audio to sound as good as possible, and it needs to sound clear and also be loud enough. And over the last few years, the video quality on our phones has got pretty good. I actually film all of my videos on my iPhone X because the quality was better than the DSLR that I was using. The trade-off is often that built-in microphones don't sound great. And this is the same problem even if you've got a DSLR, because often the built-in microphone is where the compromise is made because they're typically made for photos rather than video. This is where the Comica BoomX D2s come in, because they are a pair of wireless microphones you can plug into your phone or your DSLR to enhance the quality of your audio. Now, I've been using these for just over a week, and so I'm going to bring you an overview and a review. I'm going to spend the first part of this video talking about the design, the features and the spec, and then I'll show you some specific recordings made with them. You'll also notice that I'm wearing one, and so this whole video audio that you can hear now is being recorded on it. So let's start with an overview. The Comica BoomX D2s retail at £225. This makes them a high-end audio product, and that's obvious as soon as you open the box. Inside the box you get two transmitters, the receiver, two lapel mics with soft windshields, two dead cat accessories for adding extra wind protection on those mics, a USB-C cable, plus three connector cables for using them with your phone or different camera brands. Helpfully, these are labelled. You also get a SIM release tool for resetting them, plus some instructions. This all comes in a fairly sturdy box with a magnetic close on it. This means you can use this box to keep your microphones in when you're not using them. In terms of design, the transmitters and receiver have very similar designs. They're nice and small with rounded edges. The front has a small colour display screen. The right side has controls. The left side has a USB-C slot for charging, and then the rear has a clip that you can use to attach to yourself or to your camera or something like that. On the top of the transmitter you'll find a built-in microphone plus a slot for adding the external microphone if you want to use that. On the receiver you'll find the live monitoring output for plugging in some headphones and also the output to connect it to your phone or camera. Comica show the clip receiver being clipped onto a phone itself when recording to keep it sturdy. And what I found when using it with my iPhone X is that actually with a case on it's just about too thick to really hold on securely, but if you take the case off it's fine. Personally, I really like the design of these. They feel premium and really well made. The clip feels sturdy and the screens provide everything you need to see on them without being so complex that they drain battery. This leads us quite nicely on to talk about spec. So these operate on a 2.4G frequency and you can use both microphones at once. They support both stereo and mono recording and you can adjust the volume of each microphone individually. This is great if you're interviewing someone who is quieter than you. The real-time monitoring output lets you adjust this and get this right prior to recording because you can't do it in post-production. When you're using them, the screen on the transmitter shows you the pair status, the battery level and the microphone level. It also shows you whether it's muted or not, and you can mute the microphone using a button on the side. The receiver also shows you the battery life, but then it also shows the level of each microphone plus any adjustments you have made. If you want to adjust the microphones individually, you can boost each one up to 12 decibels. This is pretty useful to have and means you can get a nice balance. There's also the options to pair and reset them, although for me I found that they work straight out of the box and so I haven't used these features at all. All I needed for them to work was my lightning to headphone jack adapter. It's also worth saying that when you're using it with your phone, it's really important that you get the right end plugged into your phone and the right end plugged into the receiver. One end of the cable has 3 lines on the jack. This is the end that goes into your phone. If you don't get this right, this isn't going to work. Comica also recommend turning off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi when you're using the microphones to avoid interference. Although I haven't experienced any interference when I haven't switched these off. In terms of battery life, Comica say they have up to 5 hours of working time, and I found that this is pretty accurate. The other feature we should talk about is distance. Comica say they have a working range of up to 50 meters. This of course is going to depend on whether you're inside or outside, but also on things like how thick your walls are and what the weather's like, because all of those things affect signals. The best thing to show you something like distance is to go for a walk around the house and into the garden to show you what the range is like. Okay, so I'm going to take you on a walk with the microphone attached. We're going to go to the furthest point in my house, which is our kitchen. I'm going to explain a little bit about the house while I go through. So it's not a huge house. We've got like 2 up, 2 down. But it's an old house, so the walls are pretty thick. So they're like double brick thickness. So we have to have Wi-Fi extenders in a couple of places as well to make sure our Wi-Fi works properly. So I'm at the furthest point in the house, which is the kitchen. What I can do is go for a walk into the garden as well, which takes us even further away. So let's see how the range fares for that. And we'll do a proper outside test in a second. So here we are outside. This is a lovely sunny day. So I'm going to go all the way to the end here. There we go. And let's go back. You'll also see the range in the garden on some of my tests later on. The great thing about having this level of range is that you can potentially move around during a shoot and not lose audio quality. Likewise, you might want to do something where you're zoomed in and then zoomed out, and you can do that without having to worry about the quality of your audio varying depending on how close you are to the microphone. If I'm honest, the distance isn't a big deal for me. The big deal is that it works without me having to have a cable trailed across. It means I can get a good quality audio that comes straight from me with a microphone attached without having to worry about tripping over cables all the time. But the real question to ask is, what's the sound quality like with these? So let's talk more about performance. As I've said when I've reviewed microphones before, audio is a very subjective thing. And whilst this whole review has been recorded using this microphone, I do tweak the audio a little bit in post-production. So what I'm going to do for the rest of this video is show you a few tests and show you some raw audio from them. If you look at Comica's listing for these on Amazon, they talk about using them for street interviews, meetings, broadcasts and music recording. Now, as it's just me, I'm not going to do a street interview, but let's test them in 3 use cases. So firstly, we're going to test them outside with a variety of attachments. Secondly, we're going to test them in this room. And then thirdly, we're going to record some music. What I'm going to do for each test is I'm going to contrast it with some recordings straight from my phone. So let's kick off those tests. So this is a test with the normal lapel cover on. So I'm about 10 foot away and I'm going to walk back and keep talking as well. So this is test from maybe about 20 feet. And then again, about as far as I can go. Okay, so this is outside test number 3. So we've got the dead cat attachment on. I'm about 10 foot away from the phone. I'm going to walk further back and we'll see how the range fares up. So I'm about maybe 20 foot away now. Can you still hear this? And then as far as I can go. And then this is a test with it just normally clipped on, so the built-in microphone. And about 20 foot away and all the way away. And just to give you something to contrast, this is the built-in phone microphone. So I'm about 10 foot away. This is how clearly you can hear me. 20 foot. So what I really wanted to do was do some windshield testing to see how well it responded when there's a lot of wind going on. But typically today and the next few days are really nice weather here, and that's when I'm filming. So I've got a fan here, so I'm going to switch that on. I've just got the microphone with the built-in microphone working. So let's do a quick wind test. So that's the fan on. I can feel it. Maybe you can see it on me. I'm going to move it a little bit closer to the fan just to give you an idea of a bit more wind, so I'm going to go out of view. So this is me talking a little bit closer to the fan. We're probably about, I don't know, maybe 12 inches apart. Let's keep going with the wind and let's attach this lapel mic with the dead cat on. Okay, so I've attached this microphone now. I don't know if you can hear the difference, but I'm going to keep talking just to give you an idea. And once again, I'm just going to walk closer to the fan to the same distance I was just now. So when there's even more air blowing into it, you can hear what's going on. So this is test 1, just some audio in this room. What you can hear at the moment is just the audio recorded on my iPhone. The microphone is not plugged in. Then here is test 2. I've plugged in the microphone and I'm just using the built-in one with it clipped on my shirt. And then finally, here is test 3 in this room. This is the lapel microphone plugged in with just a normal soft shield, which is what you'd use if you're recording inside. And then here is the audio test, so I'm just going to record something using my phone microphone. I will save the world, I will get the girl, I dismantle a ticking time bomb with just 1 second to spare. Okay, and so now we've got the Comica microphones plugged in, and I want to talk a bit about what I'm doing for this recording, because I'm not just using this microphone. Because if I was recording audio, I'd want to make sure I was getting the vocals nice and clear, but I'd also want to make sure I was getting the sound of the ambient room. So I've got another microphone just over there next to the camera, also using a built-in microphone. So let's record some audio and see how it sounds. I will save the world, I will get the girl. I dismantle a ticking time bomb with just 1 second to spare. So there you go, a whole variety of tests contrasted with just normal phone audio. I don't know about you, but I think there's a really obvious difference in quality between using this microphone and using a built-in microphone with the phone. I also think there's a real difference between quality of this microphone and the microphone I reviewed a few months back, if you want to go and look at that video. Of course, there's also quite a big price difference. But that is the Comica BoomX wireless microphones. All in all, I've been really impressed by these. They're incredibly flexible and there's lots of use cases you can use them for. I think they produce really good results, and they've also got pretty impressive battery life as well. And of course, and I haven't mentioned it throughout this video, you don't actually have to use them just for audio. You could use them with something like your voice memo app if you want to record demos of songs, or you could use it to record a podcast with some other audio equipment. For me personally, these are certainly going to be the microphones I use for future videos, and whilst 99% of the time I don't need that second microphone, it's nice to have that just in case I do need it. It's also pretty useful for when I decide to record acoustic videos for my music channel. If you've got any questions about these, do stick them below in the comments and I'll try and answer those. Do consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. If you want to pick up a pair yourself, I've put a link to it in the description. Clicking that link will help this channel out, so thank you if you do make a purchase as a result of watching this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon.